Hey, Disney cruisers, and welcome back to the DCL community, where we are here to help you plan, prepare for, and get excited for your Disney cruise. You guys know me. I'm Rebecca, your host and admin of the DCL community. And today we are giving a big ol' thank you to all of those who serve in our military and all of their families, of course, as well. But today we are talking all things discounts when it comes to the military with Disney Cruise Line. So as you're coming in, please say hello. Let us know where you're watching from so that we can say hi. But Kelly, do you want to go ahead and introduce yourself?
Sure. Thank you for having me, Rebecca. I appreciate it. My name is Kelly Lord. I am married to a retired Army soldier. He served over 21 years in the Army, so we've definitely lived that military life. We have retired here in the Orlando area, living right behind the Magic Kingdom, which is very nice.
Yeah.
And we're very familiar with the challenges that a military family faces in booking vacations. Our schedules are incredibly uh, crazy sometimes. We get orders and orders are pulled, and leave is approved and then leave is revoked. And I can definitely assist with any of those crazy things that we deal with, just having lived the life. So our specialty at the agency is military discount vacations. We love our military folks. We have several spouses in the agency that are also military affiliated as well. We represent all branches of the military.
Oh, wow. Well, thank you and your family. And if you are out there and you're watching right now and you're like, yes, that sounds like me, I'm so overwhelmed with all of these details. And we're going to talk through a whole bunch of questions, but reach out to Kelly and her team. That is the link to her page on the DCL community site. You might not know this, but their planning services are actually free for you to utilize. So
Mhm.
whether you're looking at a Disney cruise, Adventures by Disney, Disney World, Disneyland, reach out. They can help you plan that perfect vacation so that you can focus on relaxing and actually enjoying your time off and together. And Kelly also has a Facebook group specifically for military families who are trying to travel, not just Disney, right? You guys do all inclusive resorts and all sorts of vacations.
We are a full service agency, so we can send you anywhere in the world. If you want to go to New Zealand, if you want to go to California, anywhere. Doesn't have to be just for military families. We book everyone, but we do have we keep our Facebook group updated with current military specials for the different cruise lines. Disney, Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Princess, Virgin. Anybody that offers a military discount, we'll post about it in the group, and we keep it updated. Sandals and Beaches Resorts offer an amazing military discount. So you can save
Ooh.
quite a bit of money with Sandals and Beaches. And we can help you with all of those.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I don't think I knew that one. So that is awesome to
Yeah.
know. So if you're ready to
Mhm.
start planning, definitely reach out. We are going to go through some questions here. And if you guys have any other questions, feel free to put those in the comments and we're going to do our best to get to them. And we have some friends watching in Florida and Alabama and New York. So hello to everybody. And we can go ahead and just dive in to, I guess, starting from the top, who actually qualifies for military discount with DCL?
So Disney Cruise Line lists the qualifications on the website, but what they list are active and retired military service members. They also extend the discount to members of the Department of Defense, the National Guard, and the Reserves. For National Guard and Reserves, you do have to have active orders as of the first of the year. So that's a little bit different. But you do have to have a valid military ID. One question we do get a good bit. We have so many people that have graciously served in the military, and we appreciate all of them. Thank you, everyone, for your service. But unfortunately, Disney only extends the discount to those that are active duty or retired. So you have to meet their qualifications. So we have people that reach out. I've served my 6 years or 8 years, and we're very grateful for your service to the country. But unfortunately, those veterans do not qualify for the discount. So we can help you navigate that. But that's even if you don't necessarily qualify for a military rate, we can find you the best deal. So maybe you're a Florida resident, there's a Florida resident discount, or there's promotion like the say 50% off the deposit, or we can find you a great guarantee rate or something like that. So just because one discount might not apply to you, we can find you the best rate that would apply to you.
Yeah, that's such a good point. There are definitely ways to work it. And I know a lot of times people can get a little bit of sticker shock when they see how much a Disney cruise costs. So then you realize
Yes,
all that's included. And you guys can take payments, right, for Disney cruises. And, if somebody wants to book
absolutely.
a year and a half, 2 years out.
Right. And sometimes that's a challenge with military families because we don't necessarily know where we're going to be living a year and a half, 2 years out. So
Yeah.
um, What I
Great point.
encourage military families to do is if they have a specific date or sailing that they want, it's usually better to book that as early as possible than to wait for a military discount because you can choose your stateroom, and then you can make those payments along the way. And up until final payment, unless you're concierge, all of that's fully refundable. Or even if it's concierge before final payment, we can move to another sale date if we need to, if your schedule changes. So we're happy to assist with all of that.
Oh, such good points. And someone's asking, how many staterooms can you get with a military discount if I'm traveling with my in-laws and my father-in-law is retired?
It is one stateroom per military ID, unless your immediate family would require more than one stateroom. My family, we have 5 children, so we would have our immediate family would require 2 staterooms.
Got
So
it.
it's one
Okay.
per military ID, unless capacity-wise you would need more than one.
Got it. Okay. That is a good distinction to make. And
Mhm.
speaking of that military ID, do you need to show that during check-in?
You absolutely do. And members of the military know to carry their ID with them at all times. But I unfortunately have seen it happen at check-in. If somebody didn't have their military ID with them, then the cruise line will tell you that they'll revert the rate to the full price. So you please, please, please make sure to show your military ID, your valid military ID, not expired. But most military members know to carry their ID. So hopefully that shouldn't be a problem with anyone.
Yes, and I know that when I am not a part of the military, but I know when I see check-in, I automatically assume we're talking about the online check-in that you would do, 30, 40, however many days out. Do you actually have to upload the military ID at any point during your check-in, or is it just showing it
No,
in person at the port?
no, you can't. You cannot upload the military ID in
Got it.
advance. You do need to show it in person because they do check it at the kiosk when you check in with the crew member or the cast member there at the port. So they will
Okay.
ask you for your passport, and then they're also will ask for your military ID at that time.
Got it. Okay, good to know. I am learning here with you guys, and
Great.
people are saying that this is so helpful. So I am so glad that this is helping other people learn a little bit too. And I know that we have some military rates that are out right now for Disney Cruise Line, but when are these things typically released for the cruise line as a whole?
Generally, they are released after final payment. So around 90 days, 60 to 90 days in advance. Some of the specialty sailings will release much further out. So I just took a look at them right before we jumped on the call, and I saw that they already have some released for the fall, but those were only on the longer cruises, like the Trans-Pacific going over to Australia or the Hawaii to Vancouver sailing. Those will release further out. But look at all those Disney Cruise Line military discounts out right now. You can go
No.
out of Fort Lauderdale, you can go out of Port Canaveral, you can go out of the South Pacific. I'm eyeing that Greek Isles, that 12-night Greek
Yes.
Isles sailing it's on the Fantasy this year because the Fantasy's in Europe.
Yes.
So that's going to be a popular one. We have several of our military families that are stationed overseas in Europe. They have been very excited about the military rates that have come out for these sailings on the Fantasy. So but they are generally after final payment. And they usually are on sailings that haven't reached a certain capacity level with Disney Cruise Line. They don't tell us the exact number, but I typically tell people it's on sailings that aren't very full. So generally, you're not going to find a discount on, holiday cruise. Sometimes you will, but it's more going to be on the ones that they need to fill. So if you take a look at the ones there, you have some 3 and 4 night sailings on the Wish. You also have some on the Magic and the Dream, and then of course, some of the 5 nights on the Fantasy. But right now, this list is crazy long, and those are a good opportunity to, jump on board. Just go for a weekend on the Wish if you don't have time for anything else, just to
Yeah.
experience a Disney cruise. These are the price for 2 people. So if you
Got
have
it.
3 or 4 people, we can price that out for you. But it gives you an idea of the rate.
Yes, such a good point. And somebody's asking, do the military rates sell out?
Yes, absolutely. They only offer a certain number of staterooms. I believe it's 50. It's what they put on the site at the discount rate. So once they sell enough of the discounted rate, they will not offer the discount any longer. So
Got
it's
it.
once you see the list, If you see one you're interested in, you want to jump on that, let us know immediately, and we can call in and usually put it on a 24-hour hold at least while you decide. But these rates are usually about this, pretty similar to the VGT, OGT, IGT rates, and sometimes lower. I just booked our family on a May sailing on the Dream that was actually, for our family of three, was about $400 less than the
Ooh,
VGT rate. So
that's
we even
awesome.
saved over, right? But it
Oh
was
my
a
gosh.
nice little discount.
Yes, I was gonna say you can do some fun stuff on board or heck, get a placeholder for that. That's awesome.
Mhm.
And someone's
The-
asking, does that mean that there's no guarantee that there'll be a military rate offered on every sailing?
Correct. There are not military rates on every sailing. It's only on select sailings. Disney does that. Royal Caribbean does it that way as well. It's not on every. It's not like a flat percentage off. They will revenue management with Disney Cruise Line will look at the inventory that hasn't sold when it comes to final payment, and they'll decide what types of staterooms they can put on different discounts. So sometimes a sailing might go on a Florida resident discount, but not a military discount, or vice versa, or sometimes both will have discounts. It just depends on the available inventory on that particular sail date. And sometimes they'll offer only balcony rooms on discount. Sometimes it'll be inside ocean view and balcony, sometimes just ocean view. It just all depends on what's sold on that particular date. So we prefer an ocean view, just my family, but we're actually on a balcony on the one on the May Dream because that was cheaper at a military rate than an ocean
Oh,
view at full price. So
it's
I
so
know we had
crazy
to
how
get the
that happened.
balcony.
Yeah, we had to. I know, you
I,
poor things.
I know.
I think you'll make it. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. And
Mhm.
yeah, there's so many pieces to the puzzle about when rates become available. I know you and your team, you're so plugged into it that you're
Yes.
constantly checking to see. So if you're watching right now and you're like, I do not want to have to deal with checking the Disney website or calling Disney and asking for what's new, that's where Kelly and her team can come in and they can let you know if you have certain dates that you're looking at between, you know, your orders and school schedules and work and all that good stuff. Her team can keep an eye on those and let you know what becomes available when. So just a little help in your back pocket, if you will. And I know we get this question all the time from
Mhm.
people who are wanting to save, you know, because of Disney's dynamic pricing structure. But am I better off booking it as soon as itineraries are released, or should I wait for military discount?
It depends. So if there's a certain date that you know your whole extended family is going to go on a specific week on a specific ship, then yes, I would book it opening day because you know absolutely positively you're going to want to go on that week. The military discounts are generally released after final payment, and you cannot apply it to an existing booking. So you're going to be one or the other. Usually the military discount will bring it back down to opening day prices, so it's really not going to be a huge variance. But by booking opening day, you also have the ability to make those payments along that year and a half until your sale date, so you can break up your payments and pay so much monthly rather than when you book the military rate when it comes out, payment in full is due right then. So if you're
Oh,
booking a
that's
five
good to
thousand
know.
dollar cruise, you're just putting your 20% down on opening day, and then you can make payments along the way until final payment. If you wait and book a military discount, you're making that 5,000 all in one chunk. So it depends on your schedule, and that just if it's something that 100%, that's when the whole family is going. I would book it opening day.
So I was going to say, lock in that price, get to choose your stateroom, have that
Yes,
flexibility.
exactly.
And I knew this question was going to come up. It always does. Can I use gift cards to pay for a military rate?
100%. Yes, absolutely.
Yes. I was going to say,
Sure
use those
can.
gift cards, get the savings, just don't throw
Yes,
them
go
out
to
until
Target.
after you sail. Yeah, oh my gosh.
5%.
Yeah.
So with the gift
Uh,
cards for us, we do ask that you combine the DisneyGiftCard.com site. You can combine multiple gift cards into $1,000, per gift card. So when we ask our clients to go in and do that, or we'll do it for them, but combine them into $1,000 increments, and you take clear pictures and send it to us, and we will apply it to your sailing. That was a great way to save some money.
money and time, not having to sit on the phone. I love Disney. We all love Disney, but having to sit on hold, I mean,
Uh,
it
so
can
so
make
I
it.
have I have this phone. This is my Disney Cruise Line. This is my second phone line that I have purely for Disney Cruise Line holds. And
Oh
I,
my
honest to
gosh.
goodness, got that phone only, and the only time I really use that is when Disney Cruise Line has release dates. I have two phones that I have running, um, and that one is purely for Disney Cruise Line hold times. So we've got you on
Oh my
opening days,
gosh. I was
every
gonna
single one.
say people underestimate it, and then when I see the post in the group of, "I've been sitting on hold for 2 hours, 4 hours," I'm like, "You shoulda got an awesome travel agent who would have done it all
You
for
should.
you." Just
That's very
saying.
true.
And I know you mentioned something about kind of combining things, but if you have a
Mhm.
placeholder or if there's a Florida if I'm a Florida resident, right, and I'm part of the military, can I combine discounts or how does that work?
No, Disney does not allow combining of any type of discount. So you pick your discount. So a placeholder can't be combined with any other discount, nor VGT, nor Florida resident, nor military rate. Now, one difference is if you book a rate at full price and your past final payment and a Florida resident rate comes out after final payment, we can apply the Florida resident rate after final payment if it comes out on
Oh,
your cruise and you get a discount. You cannot do that with a military rate. You cannot do that with with any other kind of rate. But that is like a hidden secret with Florida. When we're located in Florida, we book a lot of Florida residents.
yeah.
So if you book so Rebecca, if you move to Florida and you book your cruise and then a Florida resident rate comes out after you've paid your full price cruise off, you can get that extra discount. But unfortunately, we cannot do that with the military rate. It would be a cancel and rebook, and at that point, you're in penalty. So we'd do the math for you to see if it was worth canceling, taking the penalty, and rebooking at the military rate. Generally, it's not a good idea to do that.
I was gonna say, I think so often people wait to try and get a last minute deal, but that
Mhm.
price just increases steadily, and when you do the math, oh man, it always book as far out as you can. Just trust us on that. If you're
Yes,
watching, you're like,
you,
I don't know, I think I'm gonna just trust us. Trust us.
it's a
Um,
gamble. It's easier when you live in Florida and you have more flexibility with your schedule. So as retired military, we're a little more flexible than we were active duty, to be able to jump on a last minute sailing. But when you're active duty and you're stationed, far away from the port, it's at that point, if you wait till last minute, you're paying more in air to get down to the
yes.
cruise. So you're really not saving that money, that you thought you would, because you're spending it more on airfare.
It's spending more on everything last minute. Oh my
Yes,
goodness. I was gonna say when we reach that point where you needed to order something from Amazon and you realize it can't get there with Prime by the time you need it and you gotta pay
have
for
to pay.
shipping. Yeah.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh. And speaking of last minute changes, what about trip insurance? And how would you recommend that specifically for our military families?
So 100% anytime you go out of the country, whether you're military or not, you need trip insurance. I can tell you 500 stories about why people needed their trip insurance. I can tell you about my family's 2017, where we had three different family members have three different situations where we had to cancel cruises, and we had trip insurance and we got reimbursed 100% on every single one of those. So trip insurance is necessary for so many reasons, but especially with our military, our lives are. I mean, we can change. Situations can cause the orders to change. They can cause leave to get revoked. When my husband was active duty, we had a Panama Canal cruise, and his leave got revoked because he had to be he had to attend some event for some incoming person, incoming officer. I don't even know. I'm still a little bitter about it. But we
Yeah.
we had to, we could not take that Panama Canal cruise because of that. Even though leave had been approved, it was then revoked. So you need trip insurance, and you need one that specifically covers reasons like that. Not all trip insurance will cover changes of order. So that's something that a military specialized, agency can help you navigate. We sell the trip insurance not only through the cruise line, but we have 4 or 5 other vendors that are outside companies that we work with very closely, and that we're able to direct you to the right one for your family, because trip insurance is also, you have different needs based on the age of the clients and based on where you're going to travel. You also want to make sure that you have, military or not, you need trip insurance that has medical evacuation coverage. You can be the healthiest person on the planet. You're in a port somewhere. somebody's running, they bump into you, you fall down, you split your head open, you go to the hospital, whatever, you miss the ship coming back, you have to get back to the country, back to the US. That is a very, very, very expensive bill if you do not have medical evacuation coverage. And that's where an experienced travel agent can help you navigate and make sure that you have the coverage that you need to protect yourself and your family, because a cruise is an investment. That's a lot of money. And most people just don't want to lose, $5,000 or $10,000 on if they can't go, or if they're stuck out of the country and have to get back.
Such a good point. Yes. I was
always trip insurance.
It's the peace of mind. And I know that not everybody, but there are folks who just, they'll roll their eyes of, oh, I don't need it. It's just more money.
Right. You're going to go no matter what.
Yes. You never know. I know somebody who was, flying in for their cruise. They were flying in the day before, but something happened with the plane and they ended up not making the ship a full day before. And it was no fault of their own, but, airlines, things happen, bad weather. I mean, you could get a flat tire on your drive in. It's just, there's no telling. So just that peace of mind. And I knew people were going to ask which travel insurance you would recommend. Reach out to Kelly and her team. It is so individual. And like she was saying, depending on what you need, what your family needs, some people have luggage covered through a credit card or something, and that's not necessarily what we're talking about, but it's
not,
yeah. And I think a lot of people say like, oh, I don't need a rental car coverage. That's not it. We want to make sure your trip as a whole is covered. And depending on pre-existing conditions, length of sailing, there's a lot of factors. So reach out to Kelly. Her team can help. And I know you touched on this a second ago, but what if your orders do change?
If you don't have trip insurance, you're just out the money. If you were booking a vacation to say Walt Disney World, a land-based vacation, it's completely different. They're a little more flexible. Cruises are not flexible at all. They are very specific. They sell trip insurance for a reason. You're not going to play on somebody's sympathies to call in and say, oh, boo-hoo, I didn't get trip insurance, I need this. They're very, very strict with the cancellation policies. So if your orders change, you don't have trip insurance, you're going to be out a lot of money. And that's unfortunate. If you have trip insurance through Disney Cruise Line, and you have to cancel, and for whatever reason, it's not a covered reason, then Disney still gives you 75% as a cruise credit to go on another cruise within the year. So we discuss all that with our clients, the different options. But if your orders change, then you're out of luck. I have a quick instance of trip insurance that my military families will definitely relate to. My husband, when he was still active duty, he had already had, I think, 10 knee surgeries at that point, because the military tears these guys up. But we have something called mandatory fun, and it is as fun as it sounds. So he was at mandatory fun, and his department was participating in a kickball game. And his orthopedic surgeon had told my husband after the 10th knee surgery not to run anymore. So we know how stubborn some men can be, and soldiers, multiply that a little bit. I love my husband. He's sitting over there.
Yeah.
And then, but so what did my husband, after 10 knee surgeries, do on mandatory fun day? He felt bad that he wasn't participating in kickball. So he ran. So he had his first double knee surgery. This was 2 weeks before we had a big cruise and trip to Europe. And Europe is not the most mobility friendly place to be. So he's mad I'm telling the story. But so it's an example of why you need trip insurance. So we had to cancel that entire trip because he ran at mandatory fun. So
that darn kickball will get you every time.
I don't even know if they won the kickball game, but it didn't matter because we had to cancel our Europe trip. So yes, even though he was in perfect health, he ran at mandatory fun, tore up both knees, had double knee surgery. And he's since had one since then. So he's at 13 knee surgeries now. But
man, yes, you need like the Quiet Cove coffee card where you get a free one after 6.
Something. So yes, that is just an example of, for my military families, what can happen that can cause you to have to cancel your trip, even if you're perfectly healthy people. So,
oh my gosh, that is a good one. Just have the coverage. Just have the peace of mind. It's just like insurance in your car. You hope and pray that you never need it, but you have it just in case. And let's talk about some more fun things. So, can service members wear their dress uniforms on a formal night?
Absolutely, they can, and that's one thing I tell my military spouses because we love to see our spouse all dressed up in their, their dress blues or their dress whites, whatever they
Yes.
have. They look very, amazing. And outside of military balls and a few ceremonies, we don't really get to see them all dressed up. So there are quite a few military members that will bring their dress uniform. I've even had some spouses tell their husbands that they have to. You can get some wonderful pictures of everyone all dressed up. It's a great opportunity. And they also get recognition, especially the Navy officers. The officers on the ship really pay attention to the Navy officers and will chat them up and talk Navy with them. So it's a lot of
Oh,
fun to do. Sometimes the spouses push back on it. They don't want to, but I encourage it. If they feel comfortable wearing the dress uniform for formal night, they will get a lot of positive attention. So it's and wonderful photo ops. So I say yes, do it.
I love that. And someone's asking, worried about it being wrinkled after packing it. Any tips?
So anytime you travel with a dress uniform, you're going to want. The service member will know how to do that, how to fold it, how to carry it on the hanging bag. That's something
Yeah,
that I would probably carry with you on board. Keep it with you in a
good
hanging bag.
point. Good point.
It's just me.
Yeah. Yeah. Packing it in with everything else can
No,
get, I
I pack
mean,
it separate. So
yes,
my husband
yes.
has like a hanging bag he keeps his in. So,
Yes,
but yeah.
love that. Oh my
hmm
gosh. Okay, am I forgetting any questions? Anything else that your military families are asking you, that you would want people to be aware of? I think besides the fact that you should probably have a travel agent who knows a whole bunch about this and can help you navigate.
I would just encourage, we do update on the group that you were kind enough to mention. It's called Military Discount Vacations to, I think, Disney Cruises, Royal Caribbean, Sandals. But we update every week as soon as the newest list is available for the discounts. We update it there. So you can, if you join the group, you'll see that. We do ask questions to make sure that you are military affiliated to get into the group just for security reasons. So we'll ask questions that we know that military people will know how to answer, just to make sure that we have the people in there that need to be in there. But then we will update with other options, and there's some companies that do offer discounts to veterans, not necessarily active and retired. So we post about those as well. So just you know join the group, and we would be happy to keep you updated on that. And if you have any questions, always reach out. There are several members of our team, military spouses. Brittany is the one actually on our team. They're still active duty. She's the one that updates our military list for Disney Cruise Line. I want to give her a thank you because I told
Awesome.
her,
Yes.
please,
Big shout out
thank
there.
you
We
so
love
much for
her.
the list. She's
Yes.
amazing. But
Oh,
all of our military spouses and our agents, all of our agents are amazing, and they'll be happy to help you. So we
yes.
we love Disney cruises. We just got. I know you just got the fantasy. We just got the fantasy.
Yes, I was gonna say it's in our blood at this point. You're between you and your agents, hundreds of cruises and vacations, and
Yes.
having that experience when you're traveling, when you're a military, spouse, military member. I mean, there's enough things that you're having to worry about and coordinate, and this is one
hmm
thing that you can just call Kelly and her team, talk to them about where you want to go, what you want to do. Do you just want it as a couples getaway? Do
hmm
you want a resort? Do you want a cruise? Is it your kid's favorite thing in the world, Frozen? They can help guide you in the right direction because you deserve to have the best vacation ever. And they can help you do that. And
Absolutely.
again, their planning services are free for you to utilize. So reach out to
Yes.
them, let them help because this is their passion. And you will see that as soon as you connect with them. Kelly, thank you so, so much for hanging
Yes.
out. And I've learned so much today. This is awesome.
Yay.
And
Thank you.
yes, yes. And we will see all y'all on board real soon. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you.